Okay, thank you so much for joining. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, sir. My name is Ravi. So I'm having a experience of 2.5 years in service now, in which span of time I have worked on with different modules, starting my career from CSM, then ITSM, and then currently I am working on legal service delivery. So in this uh, in this span of time, as well as with legal service delivery, I have worked on ESC portals, which is a bit of addition with legal services. And as well as I have performed some POCs on the ServiceNow functionalities such as DocuIntel, RPA, and currently I am working on an integration with HelloSign for the legal service delivery so that the contracts can be signed. So
Okay.
that's my.
So what is your current role?
I am ServiceNow developer.
Okay. So you are also managing a team. That's I can see in your resume.
Yeah, I am managing a team of 4 or 5 people.
Okay. So how you are like, what is the responsibility with respect to that?
So I am so that I have assigned 3 to 4 projects in which
Okay.
I have to perform the delivery and manage the task so that the stories will not expire or so that the sprint will be completed on time. So I generally take a look what are the challenges they are facing. I keep an eye on them. That if they are stuck at any story, then we have a connection and we have a call and then we get sorted out. And if they want any guidance or any help, then I am there for them.
So where you are managing all these
So
stories and stuff?
to give you my it's on the client portal, client stories in
Okay.
ServiceNow itself.
Okay. So you are using ServiceNow application
Yeah,
for that.
yeah. So they are implemented on client side actually. So they have created stories and we are just tracking them.
Okay. So how you are evaluating the, time, or you can say, let's say I have a story and I need to evaluate how much time it needs to get
Uh,
completed. So
uh,
how you are evaluating? Is it your task or someone else is
no, it's
doing
not
that?
my task, but we generally have a call and we get discussion that if the story can be completed in this sprint or we need to move it to the next sprint. So that's how we take a call. And
Okay,
generally, it's depending on the points which are assigned to the stories.
okay. Tell me a little bit more about your POCs.
So recently, I have done a POC on document intelligence. So the requirement is so we have an application on ServiceNow Store, a
Okay,
finance application, and for that we are implementing a functionality for the parsing of invoices. So the problem we are facing whenever we get invoices from the different users, they are in PDF, and
okay,
we need to put a person who gonna open the document and gonna upload all the details in the service now. So
okay,
we are automate this process using DocuIntel, where we are leveraging document agents, which is a ML machine learning machine learning process.
okay,
In this, what we are doing is we have a complete invoice, proper PDF, which we are parsing, in which we are populating all the fields. We are extracting all the fields in the uh, extracting all the fields from the document, and then we are submitting a record producer using Flow, and all the details are filled in a record producer variables, and then
okay,
further task can be created accordingly.
okay. So in record producer, what you are doing means how you are
So
writing the logic
see,
where.
so there is a functionality of use case. We go to the application. There is a plugin required document intelligence. After installing that plugin, we have a few options in the application navigator. We just go to the use case. We create a new use case in which we train the model first. We train
Okay,
them in. So how we train the model? We just upload some few documents. We train them, and as soon as the training is going on, the system gets an idea. Okay, this kind of document I'm gonna receive from
mm-hmm.
this position. We're gonna fetch this variable. We have created approx 10-15 variables, and we have mapped the position. So as soon as we created the variables in the service now, it shows a selection. Okay, name is this. So all the data, whatever is present on the form, we're gonna select from the drop down, and it gets an idea, okay, from which area I gonna fetch the name field, from which position we gonna fetch the address field. And later on, earlier, ServiceNow does not provide the functionality to parse the table. So currently, ServiceNow have an upgrade in this functionality and put the functionality so that we can parse the MRVS. So what is the use case here? MRVS is very prominent in the invoices. So whenever we see an invoice, there is a quantity, rate, and total amount. So,
Okay.
and there can be n number of quantities and n number of items in the invoice.
Okay.
So
Okay.
now ServiceNow enables us using the MRVS parsing, so we can accomplish that as well, and as well as checkbox. If there is any
Okay.
checkbox term and condition, so we can also read that checkbox. So
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
getting, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I got that. One thing, when we talk about, training here,
yeah, yeah.
so how you are, what is the training process there? Anyone can train, like what kind of model you are following to train
So
the system?
there are some fields which we have in the use
And
case. So
you said, right,
initially,
you are
yeah,
submitting some PDFs, right?
yes,
So
yes, yes.
from where you are getting these PDFs, and how can I say that the training is very exhaustive, or it's very good?
Yeah,
So
I got you.
yeah.
So what we are doing is we are initially putting some dummy invoices which we get from the client, and after that we put the model on the training mode. So as soon as so currently we did not apply the document intelligence directly to the system. We are put it in a training model, and as soon as the documents are getting, and person is agent will initially the agent will uh, manually upload the documents and suggest him that okay, this is the field, this these are the fields, and with the
Okay.
time it shows suggestions, automatic suggestions. Okay, this is and from there is a console we have where we can identify how much accurate is getting the data.
Okay.
So that is a person, yeah. There is a person who identify. Okay, now the model is ready. Then we automate it. We put it. There are values like threshold and automate values which we can set. Like if the percentage, if the accuracy percentage is higher than this, higher than 90%, then save it. Else keep it in review. First, agent will review it, and if they are okay, then that's how the model is trained in the document intelligence.
Okay. Okay. Apart from this, any other integration you have performed?
So I have performed a DocuSign integration, which is we have used in the NDA request, so that the
Okay.
whenever an NDA request is generated, template using a template we have created a contract, and after finalizing a contract, it goes for the signature to the signatories, external signatories even, and get it after signature, it get back to the legal contract.
So what is the architecture of this integration?
So this there is a spoke available. ServiceNow came up with
Okay.
yeah
Integration
with
hub.
yeah integration hub, and
Okay.
there is a spoke even itself for the NDA specifically. We have to just build a connection between the DocuSign application. We have to open the developer.docusign, and then there we have created an application in which we have set it all the credentials of the service now, and then the redirect URL. And in ServiceNow, we have set up all the credentials, or we are using OAuth 2.0. We create a
Okay.
profile, set up client's ID, client secret, and then
o-
auth URL, redirect URL, and then using that we set up a connection. And after that, it was automate.
Okay. So do you know what are web services?
There are two kind of web services, REST and SOAP, but we are
So
currently using
yeah.
REST.
Okay. So any use case for REST, or sorry, any
Uh,
use case, like my question is,
yeah.
when should I decide what to choose, SOAP or REST? Any idea in that context?
So see, what I have heard is whenever we got a requirement, we have a requirement where security is so much on a top priority. So at that moment, it is suggested to use SOAP, but I haven't worked on SOAP yet.
Okay.
Our major work comes to on REST only.
So you're saying like when we use REST, we are compromising security, something like that?
I heard that. I am not sure about it, so I cannot
Okay.
comment on this
Okay.
part.
Okay. No problem. Okay. So, do you know what is glide servlet?
Light servlet URI.
Yeah.
Uh, I think using this we get the parameters from the URL.
Okay. Have you used it?
Somewhere, but I'm not recalling it.
Okay. No problem. Can you tell me the architecture of ServiceNow?
So, in terms of the instance, like dev, sub, prod, or uh, in which, like how
Tell me with respect to domain separation.
I haven't worked on domain separation.
Sorry?
I haven't worked on the domain separation.
Okay. Okay. No problem. Let's move to legal service delivery. You
Yes.
are working on this project, right?
Yeah.
So, just tell me the complete overview of your project in LST, what you were doing.
So, when I joined this organization, my current project is on the legal management committee. So it's known as LEMAC. Our client is a oil company um, who makes contract between the regions and between the even countries. So to check their legalities, whatever is the contract is feasible or not, they are using this process named as LEMAX. It's a custom process they have implemented, and in this process we are creating matters. Actually, in legal service delivery, we got two major uh, two major part, like one is the legal matter and one is the legal request. So legal requests are used for the general request, which can be anything related to legal, and the internal users can also use that to identify their legalities. Then
Okay.
there is a matter we are creating. So in this implementation, it's a limit. You can scroll down and you can find out there must be an description about it. So in the limit, what we are doing is, so there is a big form, very big form, which we need to fill, which the company users need to fill up. So after
Okay.
getting that filled, so there is a catch that customer says he don't know whether during the filling the form he have all data or not. So he wants a draft functionality as well. So we have implemented a draft functionality which enables user to come back later and fills the form again. And
Okay.
but how we have implemented it, we have just like using the states. We have just when if the fields are not completed, we are saving it as a draft, and after all the fields are submitted, then I run a business rule which check all the mandatory fields are completed, and he is able to submit the request. So after submitting, it gets straight to submitted. So the task is there are approx 30-40 tasks which are created, and 3 to 5
Okay.
checklists even, which needs to be completed. And after the checklists are completed, the task can be accepted or rejected. So there are like complex ACLs we have implemented to ensure that the task so that the file not take anywhere. And there is a flow also running which enables user to focus on the current task. So there are 3 to 5, I think 6 phases we have hemisphere. So each phase have different tasks. So suppose the process is like there are 40 tasks, but users are not able to focus on those 40 tasks at a time. So we have segregated it in a 6 parts, you can say, different phases of the process. As
Okay.
soon as the document is submitted, it goes in the first phase. So as it goes into the first phase, only the task related to this phase will be editable, and those will be editable only after the checklist are completed. So suppose there are two users, legal user one and legal user two, and there are 5 checklists. And there is a condition that if the legal user one completed the text checklist, then only he is able to edit the state of task that he is completed. It's accepted or rejected.
Okay.
And as he completed the checklist, he also there is a manual task. He is suggesting all the steps where they are going to write which kind of issues they're gonna face in this contract. So after completing all the checklist, all the tasks, we have a complete overview what can be the legalities, and what steps can be taken to solve those issues. So after analyzing them, then we are moving the contract to they are moving the matters to accepted, or they cannot go with this contract in further due to legalities. So that's the process we are implementing for them.
Okay, great. Okay,
Yeah,
tell me one thing. If I can use generative AI in legal service delivery, or let's say in your project, or
yeah,
let's say you legal service delivery, so
yeah.
where we can utilize, this generative AI concept or capabilities? Any use
So
cases in LSD?
in LSD, any use case, let me think.
Yeah, take your
Um,
time.
yeah,
You know what is generative AI, right?
yeah. Generative AI actually it
So
has
just
a
think
great
of any
yeah.
applications of generative AI in legal service delivery.
Let's see, as we have a CSM, in CSM we have agents and users. In legal service, we have legal request. So on legal
Okay.
request, agents are working with the user.
Okay.
So whenever, like suppose I have talked to you about a NDA, non-disclosure agreement,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a out of the box record producer like a request form name as stock pre-clearance. So in a stock pre-clearance, I think we can use a generative AI. So, but stock pre-clearance actually gives the permission to the user that are they able to buy these stocks or not. So, due to some companies' legalities, in some companies, employees cannot buy stocks or
Okay.
specific type of stocks they can buy. So,
Okay.
stock pre-clearance are used for that. So, we can use, I think, generative AI in that case to identify whether the user is able to buy the stocks or not using generative AI using the previous history. I think they are able to identify, and it can show the recommended actions in the right panel where agent can take decisions accordingly.
Okay. Okay. Great. So I see you have like a problem solving approach in your, you are helping people, right? In that
Yeah.
problem solving. So any most appreciated problem solving solution which you can share with us?
Uh, so in DocuSign, the client have a requirement that when we open the contract, as soon as
Okay.
we the contract is open, so there is a start button. Okay, when we click on the start, it scroll down to the user and he just take to the place where the signature needs to be corrected. Signature needs to be inserted.
Okay.
Rather than scrolling to whole document, it takes to you where the document where the signature should place. So
Okay.
there is a hassle going on that how we can accomplish this.
Okay.
Then for this I have to go to the document and I have to read that documentation how this gonna solve. So then we gotta find that there are anchor tabs which are provided by the DocuSign for the same issue. So we have just embedded them anchor tag in the templates and then the issues are solved. And these kind of issues like in my team whenever they stuck they come to me. Okay, here we stuck. Tell me some solution. So,
Great.
see, I am also learning in this phase. I cannot say I know everything. Yeah, Google is
Yep.
in place.
You are not audible.
I'm not audible.
Ah,
Just a
yeah,
minute.
now fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great, great. Okay,
Um,
tell me one thing.
yeah.
Uh, can we integrate ITSM and CSM?
Yes, we can integrate ITSM with the CSM. There is a plugin
Okay,
we have.
if we integrate, then why we should integrate? What
Let's see.
positives it will bring on?
See. When we implement the CSM, our CSM refers to the customer service. The agents are working with the customer to solve their issue. But if
Okay,
a customer have a specific requirement which needs technical work, which needs some technical users to be technical agents need to interfere, then there is a process come with the ITSM. If they are having some problem with some IT applications, then the agent will create the incident after. So the process is like uh, customer will talk to the agent. They got a okay, there is a problem we have. Then they create a case on the behalf of customer. Then agent see this problem needs some additional help from the technical team, from the IT team. Then he raise an incident on that case, and then it assigned to the corresponding team which gonna solve that incident. And if they require, they can perform all the problems and change request. and
Mm-hmm.
after solving it, they gonna say when all the if there is a change is closed, then problem closed, then incident is closed. After that, the agent gonna provide the resolution to the customer. If the customer accept, then it got closed, or else it moves back to the work in progress. So that's how we're gonna integrate CSM with the ITSM.
Okay, okay, great. I see you have worked on service portals as well, right?
Employee Center, actually, I'm working on. We are implementing Employee Centers for the legal service, believe me,
Okay, for
where
legal
we,
service only.
yeah, for legal service,
Okay, so
majorly.
if I ask you what is the difference between a dashboard and a service portal, can you have some no idea on that?
See, dashboard is a kind of is a kind of view where all the reports are attached, where
Okay,
we have data regarding what is the current status going on with the request, with the related of request, agent, how many agents are occupied, and what are their performance. So these kind of things we're gonna see on the dashboard. But service portal is a complete self-service platform which enables user to help themselves and helps and gives a single stop solution to find any FAQ, knowledge base, any problem they are facing. There's a virtual agent we can add on the portal. And then there are requests which a user can make via portal. So that's a uh, like dashboard is major for internal users, and portals are for the end users.
okay, okay, got it. Great response. Okay. So when we talk about testing,
Yeah.
what process you're following in your current organization for testing?
So in my current organization, what we are doing is we are following. Currently, we are looking to implement the ATF, but as of now,
Okay,
we are not using the ATF. We are using the manual testing right now. So for the manual testing, what we are doing is whenever the story is assigned to the user, assigned to the developer, whenever he gets completed, it moves for peer testing. So the someone else from the technical team will review it, will check it. Okay, it's okay.
okay,
Then it moves for the another QA to the QA person in the internal team, and last is the client testing. So after
okay,
client testing,
okay,
uh, yeah, after client testing, we move it to test and then to prod.
okay, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about GRC. Any idea?
No, sir. I am about to start GRC. I haven't started yet, but yeah, it's about in GRC we have created some surveys and like I'm not sure I'm
Okay,
saying
no
thing.
problem. So Ravi, I'm done with the discussion. Thank you so much for joining. Okay. You have
Thank
any
you.
question?
Sir, I am having a bit questions on the relationship between partner account vendors in the CSM. I sometimes got confused in this relationship, like customer and consumer.
Cus like what is customer and what is consumer,
Yeah, what's the customer is B2B model and consumer is a B2C model. But
right?
what are the like use how it gonna affect me? How me as an organization? How I gonna take care of them?
Customer and consumers.
Yeah,
See, whenever you have a client, so a client can be a customer or it can be a consumer. Okay.
yeah.
And when you say how to integrate these two things,
Mm.
like in what context you are talking, like in ServiceNow, service delivery, or what?
Service now.
Okay, so see, consumers can be a technical person as well, right? Or a
Okay,
customer is the end user.
okay,
So when we say customers, anyone, if you have a consumer, then also that consumer will going to either relate things with customers, right? They may also have some customer. So ultimately, whatever we are doing is linked to the customer finally.
okay,
Let's
okay.
say for ServiceNow, we are customers, but if there are certain customers for ourselves as well, like for my company, then
Yes.
whatever I'm doing, it is related to customers also.
Okay, okay, okay. Got it.
So, the final things will be to the customers, and you need not to be very much technical with customers. You have to understand in their language what they are expecting.
Okay.
And
So
when we talk about
accounts.
consumers, see,
Yes.
obviously a consumer can be a technical person, or you can say we are consumers because we are using some web services from other account. When we talk about
Yeah. Yeah.
integration, let's take integration. So
Hmm.
what we are doing, we are consuming each other's resources. And finally, these things, whatever we are building, is used by some customer. So when we integrate these applications, we are talking technically, we are talking functionally. And
Okay.
the last thing which is there in our mind is customer, like whatever
Customer.
we are designing, that should be in sync with the customer. So
Yeah.
this is the basic difference here.
Got it. And
Are you getting my point?
yeah, yeah, I got it.
Customer is a
And
very last person, okay, which is
hmm,
ultimately going to use it. A consumer
okay,
may be a customer or it may not be a customer.
okay,
So
got it.
we have to design things accordingly so that whatever we are doing is supporting the customer, and it necessarily not to be in our language, in our protocol, but that should support everything to the customers.
Hmm, got it.
Yep. Anything else?
Any feedback?
Your feedback here, your communication is very good, and obviously you have good experience on things. Okay, try to explore more things like ITOM or GRC.
Yeah, I'm looking
Okay,
toward it.
so yeah, these are the new things, but slowly, obviously, you will learn all these
Yeah,
things.
yes.
Okay, rest is whenever you are explaining some project or something, so don't go so much in deep. Okay,
Okay,
like
okay,
field levels and all these things. Just provide some trust. You know,
okay.
which is
And
signifying
the
or telling
problem and the
the
solution.
benefits, what problem you are solving. That's it. That is
Okay,
enough, I guess.
got it, got
Because
it.
ultimately, whatever we are doing is going to lead to some form changes or something
Yeah,
like that, right?
yeah.
So no need to include these things. Only focus on uh, you know uh, basics. What you are doing in that project. What you're doing means what you are helping out. Okay.
Okay,
What
got it,
problem you are solving. That's it.
got it. Thank you,
Rest you are good, and all the best for all the interviews.
thank you. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Yeah.
Bye.